Hello and welcome to this JumboCast production of NCAA Division III volleyball action here, round one in Cousins Gymnasium. I'm Jared Davis and I'm joined by my friend Robert Hoover. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for 4 great games of volleyball today.
Yes, JumboCast will be covering all 4 games happening this Friday, as well as the games happening on Saturday. Please tune in and enjoy this fantastic Division III tournament we have here. Today we are watching Johnson and Wales University face the Maine Maritime Academy here in the first round. We're getting started soon. We'll go over your starting lineups real quick. For Johnson and Wales, Alyssa Nicholas will be the setter. Briley Frank, Kate Walker, Kelly Delaney, Tia Scott, Hannah Dolan, and Maria Caniglio will be on the floor. And then for the Maine Maritime Mariners, it's Maggie McMinn, Rachel Malampy, Alex Kakasi, Jessica Daria, Sydney Adams, Avery O'Neill, and Maria Perez. And we're ready to go with live action already coming to you, folks. Maine Maritime to serve. Avery O'Neill. Dug out by Malampy. Daria with the hit. Again, dug out by Malampy. Daria. Daria again. Good dig there. And that one's going to find the floor. First point goes to Johnson and Wales.
Maine Mariners relying on Malampy right now. I think that was 3 straight sets to her on the outside. Really showing what they want to do on their offense now.
Definitely. Michaela Arimura to serve. Back to Daria. Arimura digs that one out, but overpassed, and that will be a point for Maine Maritime.
That's 4 straight sets to Malampy. I think they found their weapon on the day. That's going to be a huge blocking assignment for whatever Johnson and Wales pin hitter is covering her. But now she's back to serve.
Sure, Daria, actually.
Oh, Daria. My bad.
Able to save that one. Just going to have to hit a free ball over. Good dig there by Caniglio. And Kelly Delaney able to tip that one over for the point. 2-1, Johnson and Wales. Good vision there, good height. As you can see, big difference here on the court is the height of Johnson and Wales. Maine Maritime just not able to match up. That pays dividends right there for that point. Casey. Not able to save that is Sydney Adams, and that'll be another point for Johnson and Wales. Back to serve is Kelly Delaney. Dug out by Maria Perez. Good save there, but unable to get that one up off the floor. Point to Maine Maritime. What you thinking about this early start here, Rob?
Lots of back and forth, but Maine Maritime is going to have to switch up their set selection here. They're going a lot to the outside, but that's because Johnson and Wales have done a real good job on moving the ball around on their defense. Have been able to get a lot of in-system until now.
Malampy gets stuffed, but Maine Maritime able to get the point there. Sydney Adams, the setter, just dumps that one over, finds the floor, and now Kakasi back to serve. Stuffed by Malampy. Caniglio. Caniglio again. She finds the floor this time.
Absolute rocket of a shot right there. Dropped before any of the Maine Maritime defenders were able to get a hand on that one. A really great hit.
Yeah, she's the leading killer for Johnson and Wales. So look for her to really put the team on her back here in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Malampy, she gets blocked, but that gets over. Libero just hits a free one over. Get a touch on that hit. They're not going to be able to get there. That's going to be the first kill for Maggie McMinn. Sydney Adams back to serve. Haven't really been going to one person specifically on their serve here.
In the beginning of the game, you got to feel it out,
Definitely.
see who's the best passers there. And a huge block by Hannah Dolan, the senior out of San Clemente, California.
Yeah, they have a lot of players from San Clemente, California. Looks like Hannah Dolan and Michaela Arimura are both from San Clemente, wine country up in California.
Oh.
Hits through the block, but dug out. Caniglio, that one's going to go long. There's a point for Maine Maritime.
A real close game right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We got all tied up at 5. And Malampy to serve to get Maine Maritime back in the lead. Serves, sets Caniglio, but dug out well by Perez. And she finds the floor with that one. Number 20, Sydney Adams. Malampy serve. Right to Caniglio. Well dug by Perez. But this is going to give Caniglio another chance. And she puts it away.
Johnson Wales running a lot of different action, a lot of different looks from their front 3 right now, moving around their hitters.
Definitely. Caniglio gets the kill and then goes back to serve. Dug out by Malampy. Out to Daria.
Oh, the pancake.
They're going to play it. Malampy. Perez. Free ball. Set out to Tia. She gets it over. This is a wild point, folks. Hope you're enjoying. And it's still going on.
Great defensive hustle by both sides. Oh.
Possible double hit there, but it doesn't matter. Maine Maritime's going to get the point on a big rally.
Yeah, lots of great defense by both teams, making sure they get everything up, especially the pancake by the libero over on Maine Maritime.
Yeah.
Perez hustling a lot back there to keep those plays alive.
That was amazing, yeah. And McMahon with another point. She found that hole in that block and just squeezed it through there. Ooh,
And
big stuff by Daria.
Huge blocks out there. They won the joust last point, and this time they said access denied Johnson and Wales.
Excuse me, that was Alexa Casey. Perez serving again.
Lead blocker on the team's Kakesi. Averages half a block per set. That's pretty good, and she's showing off those good hands right now.
Yeah, that momentum. Getting the Mariners on a little roll, up 9-6.
Ooh, a big ace to pull away here, stretching that out to a 4-point lead. 10-6 Mariners up on, I believe, the higher-seeded Johnson Wales.
Believe you're quite right. Delaney couldn't handle that serve from Perez there. Starting off strong, Delaney, but that one necessitated a timeout from head coach Nancy Samara.
The blockers on the Mariners have been something to look at. A lot of the Johnson & Wales points that have come up are from tips over the block. But now, with all the power coming out, Mariners have been able to pull away from the Wildcats with that good blocking and strong hitting. Definitely.
You see the pace, though, as an advantage from the hits from Johnson & Wales. They're definitely hitting them with more pace. But Maine Maritime just able to find the right spots to kind of hit it through those blockers. And like you said, the block has been the big thing. Defense has been the difference here. But look for Johnson & Wales to kind of get their momentum rolling. Alyssa Nicholas has been a little quiet for the libero. She hasn't been picking things up, but see her to be a little more active here the second part of this first set.
And I think this is a little bit of a role reversal from the last time these two teams were at a tournament in this same gym. I believe Johnson & Wales came out on top in that one, but Maine Maritime looking for a little revenge in the big dance.
Yeah, and their first win ever in NCAA is they're 0-7 in the tournament, looking for that first elusive win. Nicholas handles the serve.
A good dig by Perez.
Doria. Block, and it's going to go in. That one had the seeing eye for the line and just lands in. Another point for Maine Maritime.
Big block right there. A little help with the tape on that, but great blocking defense by the Mariners.
Yeah, Tia Scott getting a little home cooking, but maybe not what she's looking for. And again makes a mistake.
It's
Tia
that big
Scott.
block. Trying to tip around it, went out. That's exactly what the Mariners were hoping for. They already crashed to try and dig stuff up there short.
Perez still serving. Good, powerful serve.
See, another tip.
Casey. Serves Caniglio. Set. Doria's going to send a free ball over. Caniglio to Tia Scott. She's going to get the kill. Almost dug out by Malampy there, but couldn't track down that pass. Going to be a point.
Good positioning, but just too much power from Tia Scott in her homecoming here from Medford, Massachusetts.
Emily Corbet to serve that one. Daria gets blocked. And that one's going to be just out.
Mariners playing a strong power game here. You can see a lot of hits. They are unafraid of the Johnson-Wales block. They'll go around it or through it, whichever one they choose.
Well said, well said. And service game has been solid. Unable to get the point there, though.
That was a great 31 by Johnson and Wales, being able to get separation from that block. Just a bit quicker from the Mariners, but that speed will pay off in the long run here.
Ari Murrah to serve for Johnson and Wales, just subbed in. Malampy struggles with that one, but gets it up to Casey. That one hits the antenna, so it's going to be a point for Johnson and Wales.
Going point for point after this timeout, not allowing Maine Maritime to pull away here. I wonder what was said in the coach's huddle. Ari
Murrah's second serve goes into the net. She's unhappy with herself as she punches the ball over to the other side.
In close games of these, rule of thumb, you want to be able to serve twice, get at least 1 point before you rotate out.
Daria to serve, handled well by the Wildcats, and that one's going to go out. Perez wisely let that one fall to the floor, and another point for Maine Maritime.
Lots of mistakes and hits out here by Johnson and Wales, but the good thing is you can clean those up. Just maybe looking to take another timeout if it starts to spread a bit more.
I think they found who to serve to. Caniglio unable to get down quick enough to grab that one.
And they also know Caniglio can hit a mean back row attack here, so serving her first will take her out of that system.
Yeah, it's just been a smart game by the Mariners in general this first set, but ball goes back to Johnson and Wales with Kelly Delaney to serve. See if they can chip back into this lead. Delaney's serve. Perez handles. Tipped down well by Adams. Yes, that was exactly what they needed. Sydney Adams has been the catalyst for this offense, the setter, but tipping it every once in a while just to keep them on their toes has really allowed them to get this advantage. But that one's going to go into the net. Casey's serve, not what they needed.
The tipping keeps the Johnson and Wales defense honest and the blockers on the pin, which gives the Maine Mariners pin hitters a bit of separation against the quick block and attack that Johnson and Wales likes to run. So very smart moves by the setter.
That's going to be tough to handle. Overpass by Perez there. Not much she could do. She tried her best, but it goes a second point for Johnson and Wales. Nicholas to serve. Short one. Malampy. Nicholas digs that one out. Caniglio. Perez digs it. Roll shot. Caniglio. She's going to put that one down.
No block and no chance against a hitter like Caniglio if you don't have some hands up there to get in her way. And a smart timeout from Maine Maritimes. They were looking a little out of sorts that set. Johnson Wales really able to do whatever they want, getting the Mariners out of system. But there still remains a 4-point lead in favor of the Mariners.
Yeah, Trisha Carver really putting her stamp on this set. You can see that the strategy for Maine Maritime has really been paying dividends. They're able to counteract that height advantage that we see for Johnson and Wales, and seeing maybe that the set is starting to tighten up right here at the end. She calls a timeout, reinforces what's working, maybe makes a few changes, but I think the first strategy worked. What do you think she's possibly tweaking?
I think she's just asking her players to calm down. It's early on in the game. It's the first set. They've been passing fairly well. If anything was happening, it was a bit tightening up of nerves. I don't feel like Johnson & Wales is doing anything special outside of playing in a bit more aggressive game. We just need the defense to soften up a bit to be able to dig and move around and get anything Johnson & Wales throws their way. Other than that, the hitters and the blockers have been outstanding for Maine Mariners, really negating a lot of Johnson & Wales actions they run in the front row. But we'll see. There's still a lot of volleyball left to be played in this match and even this game. Got to push 8 for the Mariners if they want to try and get out here.
And for Johnson and Wales, back to serve Alyssa Nicholas, San Francisco resident junior. She's going to send that one over to Perez. She deals with it. Malampy gets stuffed. Perez able to dig it out, though. Adams, though, not going to keep that one in. Johnson and Wales coming back, only down 3 now.
The statement point there, great serve, great block right there. Maine Mariners didn't really have a chance to do much on that point.
Adams to Malampy. Nicholas was in the right position. The set finds Caniglio, and she puts it away. 15-17. Nicholas to serve again. Adams with the set. She tips it over, but Johnson and Wales is ready. Back to Malampy. She pushes it and finds the line.
Great shot over the double block, right into no man's land there. Very smart play by Maine Maritime.
And not the prettiest looking shot, but definitely worked out well for her there.
Yeah, when you got that outside pinching up, the libero's got to come down around that block, and she just put it right where nobody was.
Caniglio winds and fires, but dealt with by Maine Maritime. Blocked again. Malampy, ooh!
That second ball over has been a significant part of the Mariners this rally. They're catching Johnson Wales off on surprise a lot with a set over and then a very aggressive kill off of the first pass there.
Caniglio digs that one. The tip not going to get there is
right
Doria.
Back at you, Johnson and Wales. If they can play that game, they can too. That was a great dump over the net.
Yes, definitely. Maine Maritime able to get a hand on it, but it was put with so much pace that it went so far out of their reach. Adams, bump set to Malampy. She kills another one. Great pace from Malampy. If anything you say is missing from the Maine Maritime first set here, it's been that little bit of pace, but Malampy bringing it here in the end of this set as they're up 20-16. Well done there by Hannah Dolan, though. She gets the kill.
Huge kill there to keep the Mariners in check and get the serve back for Johnson and Wales.
Caniglio to serve. Perez. Doria. That one's long. Maritime asking for a touch, but
no touch there.
No touch. And now within 2 points, Caniglio has the chance to get them within 1. Perez. Adams. Doria. Dug by Nicholas. The tip, and they're not going to get there.
Lots of sneaky back and forths between both sides. Lots of tips to the middle. Just a bit too slow on defense for Perez there.
Caniglio's serve. Malampy overpass, but Adams able to get there. Caniglio. That's going to be a double touch, possibly.
Over there, just reaching over the net to get that set off. Great attempt, but a little bit too much palm under that.
Yeah, the ball was under the net, and she needed to get it over the net and was just not able to use the right technique in that one. So that's going to be all tied up. Caniglio here to serve. Malampy, Adams, Daria. Johnson and Wales able to keep it up. Perez, Adams, Daria. Excuse me, that was McMinn. Oof. And Hannah Dolan stuffed by the net. And it's going to be a point to Maine Maritime.
Lots of close plays. You say she came very close to the net on that last tip, but no call by the ref there.
Could be the crucial point in the set here, and Johnson and Wales knows that. They're going to call a timeout and make sure that they tie this one back up because, yeah, like I said, that could be the crucial point here in that set. If Maine Maritime could get some service points here, it could close this one out 21-20.
You can see if anything's happening, they're just telling their players to calm down, get their emotions in check. As you can see, there was a lot of frustration out of those maybe missed calls from that last set. And this is, as you said, a crucial point. If Johnson and Wales won the last one, they'll have a lot of momentum going in to close out the last 4 points. But now they've got a 1 point deficit in crunch time here. Only 4 or 5 more points to go until they head into extras if they need to.
Yeah, I'm going to predict that it's not going to extras. I feel like Maine Maritime will not let this one get away. They had maybe a 6-7 point lead early on in this set. And to see it kind of evaporate here has got them a little nervous, but I think they're going to shake off those nerves, finish it off here. We saw Perez able to get a real long string of serves early on in the set. Maybe she gets 2 or 3 here and puts them away.
Yeah, if you're one of those defenders in the back row, you can't be too trigger happy. You know, both setters like to go over on 2, run some out-of-system stuff like that, but you cannot give up your defensive positioning here because you have great hitters on both sides of the net that will capitalize on any misreads here.
Yeah, great game we are here watching, folks. So glad to have you joining us here in Cousins Gymnasium at Tufts University. Perez to serve, Caniglio. Dug out. Ooh. Perez sliding on her knees, trying to get there. Couldn't get it up, though, and that's going to be a point for Johnson and Wales.
Bit too much heat for that back row on that serve. Let's see if they can keep that pace up.
Emily Corbett to serve. Dug well. Casey's going to find the floor through the block. Big point, 22-21. Maine Maritime over Johnson and Wales at the moment.
Tight game here. Let's see what these defensives do. Johnson and Wales loves to run different actions from their front 3. Let's see what they do here.
Avery O'Neill's serve finds Caniglio. Frank sets it, but O'Neill's going to be able to get that one up. Malampy just going to pass that one over. Nicholas, Frank. Well dug out by O'Neill. Adams finds Malampy. Malampy hits a nice shot, but dug out. This is going to be, what are they going to run? Going to run Doria. Dug out by Caniglio.
There's
well
that set
done.
over.
Again, Doria. Caniglio. We got a great point here, folks.
Another set over the net.
Oh, and no one's home.
Miscommunication here in these crucial points. We were talking about those sets over. You cannot look into it. That is a bad point to drop off of a miscommunication, considering the great defense and great offense being played by both sides in that long rally.
Definitely, we saw a great point there. And O'Neill again to serve. Caniglio. Frank. She's going to put that one down. That is Kate Walker. A little quiet here in the first set. Trying to assert herself here at the end of this first set. Bringing Johnson and Wales back behind by 1.
Really exciting game here.
Yes, definitely. Arimura, serve. Perez handles it. Out to Casey. Blocked, but they're going to deal with that. Perez. Doria. Not going to be handled by Caniglio. And this is going to put Maine Maritime 1 point away from taking the first set.
Huge hit by Doria there. Johnson Wales just not able to get that ball back in play. Really clutch shot.
Doria's serve, handled by Caniglio. Out to Delaney. I believe Walker, excuse me. Kakesi, the tip, dealt with by the setter. Gonna play that one on, out to Malampi. She gets the point, and Maine Maritime gonna take the first set, 25-22. Stay with us for second set action coming up next.
Amazing rally there to end it out. And what a beautiful shot to seal the game, going right around that block, rolling the hand over that to get some spin on it.
You see that? Yeah, fantastic shot by Malampi. What I noticed really, she really has that loose ability in her shoulder. She really gets it low and then still whips it around, able just to skim it right over the net. Really different style than you usually see, but really effective. She's one of the most effective players that first set for the Mariners. On the other side of the ball, Johnson & Wales needs to turn it around here. A little shock to the system here, losing that first set. What do you think they need to do to turn it around?
I think the defense needs to be a bit more aware. I don't feel like Maine Maritime is running that much special movement on their side of the ball. They're really keeping their pin hitters set. Their middle's running a lot of ones and maybe some slides, but no actions, no change-ups there. Johnson & Wales just needs to play their game, sit down in their defense, and get some of those balls up. And for their hitters to get the ball in, you can see they suffered a lot in the beginning from that first 5-point stretch when they were down, I believe, 10-6. Lots of hits and tips easily dug or hit out of bounds, giving Maine Maritime some free points and some easy transitions to kills and attacks. I feel like Johnson Wales just has to do a better job with their ball control and a better job being aggressive at the net and not letting Maine Maritime get anything easy. I
totally agree. The aggressive nature at the net is a huge advantage if they are able to just get some more blocks, not let these little shots slip through the blocks. Another thing I was noticing too was seems like Johnson & Wales is kind of resorting to finding Caniglio a little bit more. They have some great hitters in Delaney and Walker. I think spreading the ball around, keeping Maine Maritime a little bit on their toes, like they were doing in the beginning. Their shots just weren't finding where they needed to find, but I think spreading it around like they did in the beginning was fine. Just making a few errors was kind of putting them in the hole. Then they got a little bit one-dimensional, finding Caniglio in the middle of the set.
Yeah, I think Maine Maritime was playing a more aggressive game than Johnson & Wales. Johnson & Wales a bit flat-footed, but as you can see, they were able to close up that gap and play some really close volleyball, able to get it down to, I think, a 3-point game at the end there.
Yeah.
You can clean up some of those errors, some of those missed shots in the beginning, playing for a deficit for half the game, being able to close it up that much. Johnson & Wales still has a lot of fight here left for the second game. Should make it really exciting.
Definitely. We're strapped in, ready to go for a second set. 15 seconds away, folks. I hope you're excited as I am because this is a good one. Saw it tied at 21, I believe, the end of that first set. So if it's anything like that first set, we're in for a dandy.
And one thing, Maine Maritime, they probably know they haven't won a game yet in the NCAA tournament. Want to change that around this year. And Johnson Wales, they've been here before. And actually, to, I believe, the quarterfinals only 2 years ago, 2017. So they've got some experience from that roster still left on this team.
Definitely. 5-9 overall in NCAA. So not great success, but like you said, made the quarterfinals. So definitely a little bit of NCAA tournament experience on the Johnson & Wales sides in comparison to the Maine Maritime side. The teams are ready to go.
Now serving for the Wildcats.
It's going to be really Frank serving. And we're off in the second set. The lefty serve to O'Neal. O'Neal's going to try to get this one, but she is set a little too far wide. Collides into the tower as her shot hits the net. That's going to be 1-0. Johnson & Wales, Wildcats. Frank serve. Malampi, Adams, Kakesi, dug out. That's going to be Delaney, Perez, Dodoria, but dug well. Oldham just hits it over. And Kakesi's shot is blocked. Out to Doria. She gets stuffed as well. This time to O'Neal. She gets a nice tip, but quick on her feet is Nicholas. Out to Doria. That one's not going to find the floor, and it's a point. Up 2-0, Johnson Wales.
Great defense by the Johnson Wales front three here. They're not letting anything easy get over this net, making Maine Maritime work a lot harder for these kills. And trying to go over, the roll shot there just flew a bit too far out of bounds.
Yeah, look what we saw with 3 blocks, I think, in that one. And then another block this time, but off the block and out. So that's going to be a point for Maine Maritime.
Whole new look for the Johnson Wales front three with all this aggressive hands up on the block. This is the big change the coach was probably hoping for between these sets.
But Casey able to realize, maybe gets a little different angle on her run-up. Bounces that one out wide. Good serve.
Oh, a bit too far over.
It's going to be an overpass, yeah, and that's easy point for the blocker there. Another point tying it up at 2-2.
Smart shove, backed one right over the setter's head there. No one around to dig that one up.
No.
Really great point by Maine Maritime.
And a great serve by O'Neill. Sets that one up, and then she goes soft on this one. She's got 2 aces in a row. Not necessarily an ace that first one, but you can almost count it from how much pace she put. Necessitated that overpass, and then now she goes slow. It's going to get 2 points easily for her team here. See if she can get a third. Back to the pace. Caniglio. Dug out. Adams. Daria. She gets stuffed.
Johnson & Wales, Kelly Delaney having a great time on the block there, making sure nothing comes easy for these pin hitters on Maine Maritime, keeping it tied at 3-3. A bit too eager there with a block in the net, but that's the aggression blocking that Johnson & Wales wants.
Doria serve. Frank set. Adams just has to hit it over. Frank. Perez digs that one up.
Another net violation here. 2 back-to-back errors by the Johnson & Wales blockers.
It's going to give Doria another chance to serve. See who she goes to this time.
Ooh, great serve there.
Tip by Adams, dealt with easily by Johnson & Wales, but that's right.
Ooh, big block there.
Oh, Doria not ready in the back row for that one. She took a step towards it, but just was not able to get anywhere near. And that's going to put the score at 4-5.
Yeah, right out of the Mariners playbook, going over on an aggressive attack on 2 right there, catching the Mariners off guard.
Emily Corbett serve. Adams a set to Malampy. Just tipping it over. Out wide to Delaney. Delaney rocks one over, but dealt with by the Mariners. Corbett digs it out. Frank stuffed. Oof. Maybe a poor decision there on that one, trying to go over on 2.
Yeah, it's just that trying to go on 2, you're trying to get the other defense off guard, but sometimes you just don't have that angle.
Malampy, she doesn't get a touch on that one.
Too much of an angle on that. A great block to force it out of bounds by number 7, Kate Walker.
Good dig by Perez. Out to Kakasi. Able to be dug, though. Oldham's hit is dug out. Frank with the tip. Well done by Kakasi. And they're going to get the point there as she shoves that one right off the net. Actually, no.
Point was called a lift,
That was
I
a lift,
believe.
yeah. Believe the line judge on the opposite side was calling that a lift. Yeah.
Ooh, big momentum change there to put Johnson & Wales up too early on.
Kakasi, she's going to find that one.
Great shot right off the hands of the block, finding the deep corner down the line.
Perez going to get a little breather here in the beginning of the second set.
Real back and forth game here, but great changes made by both sides to adjust after all the stuff noted on the first game.
Walker dug out. Doria, good dig there by Caniglio. Walker this time again. Maritime able to deal with it. Nicholas out to Delaney. That's gonna be it. Nope.
Great ups by the Maine Maritime defense.
Yes. Oof.
Huge slide by Kate Walker to seal the point. Lots of back and forth there, but she put an end to that. A beautiful hit there. No block up. No one was ready. Great decision making by the Johnson Wales offense.
And then that celebration after, pumping up the team, up 8-6 here in the second set. Arimura serve. Malampi not going to make it over the net with her roll shot.
Having to change up tempo there. Roll shot and tips weren't that big for the Mariners' first set, but now after this huge block comes out for Johnson & Wales, they got to find a way to get around it.
Yeah, that change on the Johnson & Wales side seems to be the right decision here. Just able to tip it over Frank's set, and that's going to be out, but there's a tip on that one. Maybe a phantom tip there, especially if you are a Maine Maritime fan. A little bit wondering where it was coming from, but going to be a timeout here.
An exact same timeout, but at a different spot. This time, Johnson & Wales up 10 to the Mariners 6. Mariners looking to reel things back in here. Their power game is getting negated a lot. Johnson & Wales, I don't know what they did in between sets, but are now blocking and getting those shots down. Maine Maritimes had to look for a lot more tips and cheeky sets over on the second ball. But Johnson & Wales picking things up and putting things away, really pulling out here strong in the second set.
A similar dynamic for the scores and when the timeouts are being taken, yet a little bit different on how the teams are playing. Seems like Johnson & Wales is dominating a little bit more. Early on, it was more mistakes by Johnson & Wales that allowed Maine Maritime to get out to that lead. Yes, they were playing well as well, but now that they've cleaned it up on this side, it's not really Maine Maritime making mistakes that is giving that lead to Johnson & Wales. It's just been that big block that's been negating any real chances they have to hit with confidence. So let's see if they can change something around after that timeout. Arimura to serve for the Wildcats. Perez, Malampi, Caniglio finds a way to deal with that one. Oldham's dug out to McMinn. She gets blocked. Doria, a little long. Caniglio does well to let that one go long.
You know, we were talking about that experience, and Johnson & Wales has been here before. They've had to come from behind, I'm assuming, before in their big tournament appearances, but Maine Maritime does not have that history, so let's see how these Mariners' nerves hold up. Holding up pretty well with a huge kill there, knocking setter right back off her feet.
Yeah, you saw her with that big point to end the first set. Now she's coming back out firing. Maybe that's what they said in the timeout. Get it back to Malampi. Let her do some work. Nicholas digs it out. And again with the slide. That is Walker working her magic, walking the line, and finding some hardwood. Getting more points for the Wildcats, up 12-7. Oldham to serve. She hits the net, but it goes over. Adams to Malampi. Oldham just going to hit it over. Out to, that is McMinn. McMinn hitting through the block, getting a point back for the Mariners, down 8-12.
Bit quicker set that time, really caught the Wildcats off guard. You can see a little late to close the block, and they really utilized the hands there. But a missed serve by the Mariners puts all the momentum back with the Wildcats.
Yeah, maybe, like I said in the timeout, told them maybe to focus on Malampi a little bit, and maybe that got her a little riled up on that serve. trying to just skim it right over the net, and that one instead finds the net. Point back to the Wildcats. O'Neal unable to get that one over. 14-8 Wildcats. Nicholas to serve again.
Wanted to chop it around that huge block, but ended up cutting the ball just a bit too much and getting it into the net.
Overpass and big kill by Hannah Dolan.
Johnson Wales playing an overall more aggressive game here, not letting the Mariners get much in system. Really aggressive serves.
To Doria. It's going to be dug out, though. Caniglio, she gets stuffed.
With the stare down,
Yeah.
too. Huge point by Johnson Wales to assert some dominance here in the second set. And right now they're doubling the Mariners here. A real change of tempo by Johnson Wales.
O'Neal. Caniglio.
Caniglio is having a day right now. I think that was 3 back-to-back-to-back points by her with a huge block, a huge kill, and another huge kill on top. She is really fired up after that first set.
Definitely. Mishandled there, but able to get it over just somehow. Perez able to dig this one out. Let's see if Maritime can get one, but not a great set, and that's going to give another point to the Wildcats.
A bit too frazzled.
Yes, that's going to necessitate a timeout. I would do the same. Wheels kind of falling off the train here for Maine Maritime. But for Johnson and Wales, it's going full steam ahead, isn't it? Especially led by that big engine of Caniglio.
Oh, yeah, she's having a day here. There must have been some great pep talk to get the players riled up, because there's a lot more energy on the court for Johnson and Wales right now than there was first set. Maybe a bit early on this Friday afternoon, but now they are playing back in the swing of it. And
Yes.
some great serving right there to close out right before this timeout. Really smart shot selection and a lot of pace. We didn't see that strong of serving from Johnson and Wales first set, but
You're right.
they're able to flip the switch now.
Yeah, and Caniglio, being a senior, knowing that if she lost here in the first round as her last game, that'd be a huge disappointment for a good career at Johnson and Wales. She's fired up, as you can see. Like you said, 3 sets right to her. She put them straight down to the floor. The one time it didn't go to the floor, I think it went through somebody, actually.
I think her attitude's starting to soak around to the
Yeah.
rest of the team, because when you see that in the huddle, you're telling your setter you want the ball. The rest of the team's inspired too. They want the ball and they want to help take this game. No more sitting in the backseat for Johnson and Wales. They're going to try and take it from here and run.
Yeah, the seniors on that team getting a lot of time. Hannah Dolan, number 12, Caniglio, 13, the setter, Briley Frank, as well as Kate Walker, number 7. To Daria. And that's going to get a touch. May have gone long. Oldham couldn't decide. Put a touch on, and that's going to be a point for the Mariners. McMinn comes out, and Kakasi comes back in.
That's a good rotation for Maine Mariners to get Kakasi, one of their better hitters, back in here.
Caniglio, well dug out by Perez.
Close to an over there. A bit too much energy by Caniglio, but a great kill to ice that point.
Yeah, possibly Adams could have got up there, tried maybe a tip, bring it back over to her side, something like that. It looked like it was staying on their side, but Caniglio would not be denied. She made sure that point went to Johnson Wales. Out to Casey. Dug out by Oldham. To Caniglio. Oof.
This was, what, .6 of Caniglio's run here? This is a monstrous set by her. Just in the second half alone, they've really relied heavily on her, and she has not disappointed the Wildcats.
Yeah, it looks like it says 3.36 kills per game. That's going to go up a little bit after this big NCAA division first round tie. And there's another one.
A great shot by Caniglio off the hands there of the block. She really didn't have any other angle, but she made it work. An outstanding hit by Caniglio.
Doesn't always have to be the pace from Caniglio. She also uses her guile to find points. Daria, but there's going to be a point off of
a double. Held the ball a bit too long there.
That set, yeah. Was that all about hand placement for the setter?
Sometimes it just drops a bit too long, or maybe your hands touch it at a different time, but for a double there, really just got to get it out. Soft hands. Can't let silly points like those go away, especially when you are down by 14 points here. This is the largest lead of the game so far.
Yes. Another hitting error by the Mariners. See if they can remedy that. Gonna allow an easy set. Number 12, Hannah Dolan, she puts it down, 1 point away from tying this back up, one set.
You can see that was a really courageous serve by the Wildcats. They have gotten their confidence back this set.
Definitely really frank to serve again. The lefty serve, great serve. But dealt with by the Mariners. Daria, she's going to get a touch, and that's going to be a point for the Mariners.
And that seems to be the only shot the Mariners have, is that this block has negated a lot of their power, so if they're going hard, they're going off the top of the hands there.
They're really attacking that left side, not coming to this the right side of their floor. Makes it pretty predictable. But good dig there by O'Neill. Malampy, the roll shot just over. Set by Frank to Caniglio. She's going to go long, no touch. Another point, 2 in a row for the Mariners. See if they can string to back a huge comeback here, down 13. You never know. It's not over till it's over. And getting momentum in for the third set is also important. So like to see what you see from the Mariners here. Gonna get an easy setup here. Let's see what they run. To Caniglio.
And Caniglio for the game, off the hand. She was unstoppable for the second half of that game and really brought the Wildcats and created this big deficit that put Johnson Wales away.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a tale of two parts for that set. But let's quickly look at the schedule we have coming up here for you folks at home. So we're here at 12:30 now with the first game of Johnson Wales and Maine Maritime. Coming up at 3, we have UMass Boston taking on Babson. 5:30, we come back to you with some more action with Endicott at Bowdoin. And finally, 8 o'clock for the prime time action, we have Eastern Nazarene against Tufts, the home University Jumbos.
And that
looking
last game,
to get started strong.
That last game's the Battle of the Red Line. Eastern Nazarene all the way on the south side with Quincy, and Tufts up in the north in Medford, Somerville. That'll be an interesting one.
Yes, yes. Two teams very close to each other. Same weather, same cooking. See what that brings to the court. Some people want to call it the Red Line Derby, but I think I'm going to save that term only for soccer. And speaking of which, we do have some soccer for you folks this weekend as well. We're covering 3 NCAA Division III games as well. Tune into those. Love to have you here with us, folks, on a beautiful weekend. First real cold week we've had here in Medford, but
the gym's nice and warm.
The gym is warm, but a good day today. Not bad, 45 degrees and sunny. So maybe the students, athletes, will get a little sightseeing of the beautiful campus we have here at Tufts after the game. Keep them loose, keep them focused.
Mm-hmm. And the real interesting thing is when you look at that bracket, Tufts and Bowdoin are on the same side of the bracket, so knock on wood, we might get the same matchup from the NESCAC Divisional Championships maybe tomorrow. But we'll have to wait and see until after those games. That'll be an exciting rematch here in Cousins Gymnasium.
Yes, very exciting, very exciting. The final 3 rounds will be held at the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So whoever makes it out of this round here, these few rounds here at Tufts University, will be headed to Iowa, looking to take a national championship home. But the road starts here, and here in this game for Johnson and Wales and Maine Maritime, we have a close one, tied up at 1 set all. Johnson and Wales looked real good in that second set. What do you think Maine Maritime needs to do to get a little momentum back?
I think Maine Maritime was shocked that game Caniglio came out hustling with lots of power there and a really aggressive serving by Johnston Wales to get the Mariners out of system, changing up their power and their short stuff, not letting Maine Maritime able to catch their breath. I think Maine Maritime needs to return some of that aggression, use their second ball over. They got some smart setters and hitters on this team. Got a lot of strong hitters with their front three, and need to change up their serving to put the pressure back onto Johnston Wales and not let them run anything in system to Caniglio, who had a game last game. Is probably looking to repeat the same thing now.
Definitely. Quick huddle by the Mariners. A little bit of a in-team advice, a little guidance for maybe the older, more experienced players. It's going to get us started in a very important third set. Avery O'Neill goes back to serve for the Mariners, native of Burbank, California, just down the street from my home.
Ooh, great serve there.
But Caniglio's going to get it
Oh.
over. Well blocked by Casey, and she blocks another one. 2 in a row. Maritime starts off strong with the first point.
That's what you wanted to see by the Mariners. Huge blocks on some of the best hitters from Johnston Wales and a really aggressive serve to start off here. That is the change of tempo they're looking for now.
Look for another good serve from O'Neill. She's been having a good service game. And she does get another good one in. Nicholas digs it out, though. Good effort there by O'Neill. And the kill by Daria.
A perfect shot there right around the block. That's going to try and be their bread and butter here if Johnston Wales keeps getting up and getting those hands over the net. But a great power shot back there.
Found the right hand off the serve. O'Neill's had a hot one. And she's going to get that one just over the net. And they're not going to be able to fight that one over. Really, Frank does a good job swatting that one, but not going to get enough hand on it. It's going to go 3 in a row for O'Neill.
Hey,
and the Mariners.
Big blocks here by both teams. I think the better blocking team here might be able to pull out because that was the tail of the tape for the last 2 games.
Well said, well said. Caniglio dug out, but that's going to be stuffed down by Caniglio. Adams looking up to the sky saying, I was right there. I could have blocked that one. But the 6'3" Caniglio has a few inches on the shorter setter, Adams. He's going to set Doria stuffed.
You were talking about that height advantage the first set, but the Johnston Wales have seemed to remember it the last 2 sets and is really playing to advantage on their defense.
Still down 1, though. Caniglio to serve. Perez, not the best pass.
Ooh, some fancy stuff out of the Mariners.
Tries to J-stroke it out, but that's not going to happen. Going to be all tied up at 3. Little bit of a difficulty there for the Mariners, but great serve by Caniglio. That one floated right over the net and then died.
Mariners probably breathed a sigh of relief when Caniglio went to the back row, but the serving attack has not let up by her.
Wildcats no. But Casey able to get a good hit on that one. Dug out, though, by the Wildcats. Adams makes an interesting decision. Oof. And a mistake there by Perez. She was in the right place at the right time, but couldn't get that one up.
Smart defense by Johnston Wales to be able to pick up those second ball tips that were falling the first game.
That
Great
one's hit
coaching.
long, but it's going to find the back row.
Huge ace by Caniglio. A little bit of the miscommunication there on Johnston and Wales.
Yeah, Perez immediately said it was out, but you could see that one was coming down. Big ace for Caniglio. Let's see if Doria can get them back in. It's going to be a point net violation.
Ooh, net violation there kills a lot of momentum from the Wildcats. Let's see what the Mariners can do with it now.
Yeah, that's big. And Doria back to serve, trying to get the Mariners going here in the second set. They start out strong. Little speed bump, see what they can do. And a big stuff, but it's going to be a net violation.
A bit too excited there by the Mariners, but a huge block nonetheless that'll probably set the tone for the rest of this. You want to see blocks like those, but unfortunately a bit too eager out of Maine.
That's very rough because they needed that point just to kind of keep the game going. But let's see what they can do here. Malampy mishits that one. Gonna find Walker, but able to be dealt with. Malampy off the block. That's not a lift. Caniglio. Malampy, she's gonna get the second time. Take care of business.
Huge attacks there by Malampy.
Casey to serve. Walker's gonna get a kill there.
Huge kill right into some open space there. Really smart, really strong attack there by Johnson & Wales.
Yes, we have a good third set here, though, folks. It's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Arimura to serve. O'Neal deals with it, finds Malampy.
Ooh.
Right to the hands of Caniglio. And Frank with the kill as the setter. Dumps that one over.
Really aggressive dump, not like the normal sets over you'd see, just throwing it back there and catching the Maine Maritime defense off guard.
Yeah, Arimura dug out by O'Neal to McMinn. McMinn doesn't get a touch, and that's going to be another point for Johnson & Wales. McMinn has been real quiet this game for the Mariners. Usually a big contributor on offense for the Mariners. Not today. Arimura with her second service error as a substitute, too. She's not getting a lot of play. She's only really getting sets. I mean, she's only getting service points, so to make errors is a big, big problem for Johnson & Wales. Adams excited to get that dump up. Walker.
Huge
Malampy.
block.
Adams to Malampy again, and she's going to touch the net. Net violation. Point to the Wildcats.
I know it's still early, but these penalties are starting to mount up on the Mariners.
Yeah.
You really want to stay out of that here if they want any shot of bringing this one back in while Johnson & Wales looks poised to run away.
Yeah, one of those points back would make a huge difference, 10-7 instead of 11-6. Doria dug out by Nicholas. Out to Caniglio.
Off the head. Great attack by Caniglio. Big tool there.
Yeah. Not much you can do to stop her. She's a force to be reckoned with. And they're going to reckon over there on the Maritime sideline, as we call it, timeout.
Yeah, there's not much you can do to change up your blocking scheme on a hit like that. But for Caniglio, if they want to try and get around her, they got to start making smart shots to make anything out of system just so they can't set her. But when you have a big 6-3 option on the outside, she's rarely ever unavailable. So this is going to be a tough strategy game by the Mariners to try and get around her.
Definitely. That's exactly where I was going to, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, what do they need to do? But you just said there's really not much. Got to get them out of system, out of what they're looking to set. But that's quite difficult when she's all over the place, able to be such a versatile weapon. On the other side, you really need Casey and Daria to step up, I think. Keep them honest, you know. If Casey and Daria can really assert their will a little bit, it's going to open stuff up for Malampy. We saw Malampy able to finish off that first set, really putting some pace on her kills. So I think that could be the big difference is if Daria and Casey can kind of start to kind of hide Malampy's skill, because she's definitely a dangerous weapon on that Mariners offense.
You could see a lot of their kills coming from the first set was going around or using the blocks for the Mariners, but right now the block has reasserted itself for Johnson & Wales.
Out to O'Neal off the net.
And no touch there, right off the tape.
Yeah, O'Neal's going to have a tough time, a little undersized as an outside hitter, but yeah, she's been playing well, though. Stayed with there by Daria. And McMinn gets a good hit on it, but that gets picked up.
Casey, again, really turning into a machine for these sets with no real answer from Maritime as long as they're on the receiving end of these serves.
Caniglio. Casey
Caniglio, my
on the
bad.
Mariners, but we understand. We're staying with you. McMinn dealt with by Nicholas. And back to Caniglio. She doesn't go for the pace. Could be a mistake, but a free one coming over. Not really. McMinn does a good job with the roll shot, but Caniglio now going to go back to the pace. And well
and
done.
Excellent up, and they get it all the way over.
That one
and they do.
stays. Caniglio going to have to keep that one in. Oh.
Big tip.
All 6 players for the Mariners in the front court.
Hustling back there. That's what you got to do when you're scrapping to get something over. But an absolutely brutal second ball over. That's the perk of running a front row setter as smart and aggressive as Johnson Wales has here.
Yeah, Frank, the senior, having a fantastic game. A little bit of the body letting down the brain there for Malampy, but actually McMinn, I believe. Or Malampy, I'm not sure. Excuse me. They're both right next to each other at the moment. They got that same hairstyle. There's Malampy. It's going to be dug out. And Frank is going to be just out wide on her kill. The setter getting her own chance to take a shot, but goes wide.
Yeah, when you're in the front row as a setter, you got to get those reps in, but just a bit too excited there.
Little long by Malampy there, and that's going to get the point right back to Johnson & Wales. Not what the doctor ordered there. Down 10 here in the crucial third set. Nicholas back to serve. She gets a good one off. Doria deals with it, though. McMinn, far too much, but going to give a touch. And that's going to be a point back to the Mariners.
With power hitters for the Mariners, if they can't go around the block, might as well aim for hands and tee off there with a smart use.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very astute. But that's just not what you need either. Not enough power on that serve.
That's a big risk and reward serve right there. If it goes over, you might catch the Johnson & Wales defense off guard for a cheeky ace, but going right into the net, you side out real quick there with no work for the Johnson & Wales.
Frank service dealt with by the Mariners. Daria gets a good hit in, but overpassed, dug out, but overpassed, and that's going to be a point for the Mariners.
The battle of 13s right now, both in the front row here, both the primary options for their teams. We'll see which one comes out on top.
Now you see them hit their counterpart, and then the hit comes back, but that's another service error by the Mariners, putting them in a hole. Errors, net violation, big.
You can see from their bench, they're cheering no more errors. They want to stay as competitive as they can, because if you switch around a couple points, maybe 4 or 5 service hitting errors, you got a much closer game here than it appears. Right now we have Johnson Wales University up 11.
Caniglio's serve, dug out by Malampy. That's going to be
double there. You could see just kind of hucking it out on the 31 that never really gets above the net. Got to clean it up here, and that'll probably be what their coach says during the set change.
Caniglio's serve. Gonna get another
Huge
point.
Solo block right there by Hannah Dolan. Johnson Wales saying their blockers can go 1-for-1 with any hitter on the Mariners team.
Caniglio to Perez. Doria, she's going to get some points. She's fired up.
A huge kill to change the tide there. Still a 12-point gap, but a monster power shot. Beautiful stuff there. No block
So
up
fired
for
up,
Doria.
she gets a warning, I think, from the ref after that, and possibly for a kind of taunting.
But as a player, you'll take a warning as
Yes.
long as there's no card there. Gets the rest of your team fired up.
For sure. Caniglio from the back row.
Ooh.
She gets a point on an ugly hit, but it works.
You can see she threw her shoulder out a bit there to try and go up and over the ball for the roll shot, but it stuck to her hand. Still a good point, but not the prettiest swing you've seen.
See Caniglio breathing heavily. They're going to the well early and often, but she seems to be able to stand the test, and that's another point. Oh, they're going to get a touch, actually, on that one. Going to be Mariners' point.
And that's one thing we haven't been talking about is how much you can go to the same hitter over and over again. Volleyball's a 3-set game. You already played a set before. Let's see how that energy keeps up for her.
Out to Delaney. O'Neal to McMinn. Caniglio gets that one up. Frank all the way over. Big kill. Number 10, Bella Oldham.
You can see the Mariners looking a bit upset. They thought that one was out. And see, that's a real big momentum killer, getting them riled up on a really close call there.
Bella Oldham, the junior from Irvine, California, went to University High School. Always a force in the California volleyball championships.
Under the net there, and that seals the game for the Wildcats. They're excited. Mariners showing a little bit more energy there near the end of that set, getting now a bit more in system to their hitters, but Johnson Wales really has been having their way for the last 2 sets.
Definitely. You could see kind of the frustration on the Mariners' side, knowing that putting Johnson and Wales just 1 set away from moving on is not the position they want to be in. It's a little too precarious of a position. And now they face an uphill battle, having to win 2 sets in a row. Not insurmountable, though. As we saw in the first set, they played really well. They've just been making mistakes here in the second and third sets. If they clean their game up, we're going to see another great set like we saw in the first set. 2 minutes out from that 4th set.
A little bit of the difference, though, is these are some forced mistakes by the Mariners. Their hitting shots are going up and out, not because of any missteps, because of the big block from Johnson Wales. So it's harder to change stuff like that up, but still no answer for
Caniglio. Yeah.
Words are hard this morning.
Yep. It's a Friday morning. We're not used to doing a volleyball or even a broadcast this early on a Friday.
Yeah, got our Duncan ready to roll out for. We got 3 more games after this.
3 more for you folks. Yes, we'll be here again. Are you announcing any more games this
I'm announcing the Tufts Eastern Nazarene College
nice.
game.
So you will be here in this gymnasium for quite a while.
Yeah, I was debating doing the straight circuit of 4 because I can't get enough volleyball here, especially the high-level volleyball of NCAA Division III. This game, despite the large point spreads, has been one for the ages. Really smart playing and smart hitting by both teams, but just the blocking, the defensive calmness of Johnson and Wales coming through for them.
Definitely. We're looking forward to a fun 4th set here at Cousins Gymnasium. Good turnout from both crowds, from both supporters, from both teams. And just a great atmosphere here for the first division. First round of the Division III NCAA playoffs.
It'll be an exciting one. You know, the big crowds are going to show up for the later games. You have Bowdoin. It's a short drive away. A bunch of fans here last Saturday for that championship game.
Yep.
It'll be an exciting atmosphere later in the day, especially as people get woken up more and more. But we have some excitement going on in here before the 4th set.
Yes, we do. Both teams getting fired up. Alrighty. The refs are back in their positions. The teams take the floor. Little shoulder bump, chest bump, handshake action, and a huddle by the Maritime Mariners to get us ready for the game.
You got to be wondering what's said in that huddle, and personally, I don't know. I haven't been in this atmosphere before, but you got to imagine the team seniors are stepping up to try and calm down some of the youngins on the team.
Definitely. See a new player in for the Mariners, number 6, Brianna Mays, the sophomore, 5'7". Frank to serve. Ball finds Mays right away. She's unable to get that one up.
Lucky serve right there off the top of the tape, but leading to a clean and hectic ace for Johnson Wales.
Yep. Well done there by Adams. Able to keep this one alive, but not for long, I'd say, but no, Caniglio's dug out by Doria. Doria, roll shot to Nicholas. Frank. Perez with the good bump set. But, Adams and Doria, little miscommunication. Someone should have got there. Point, Johnson Wales.
Sutter doesn't want to take first ball there, but neither did Doria. She probably wanted to be the option on that hit there. Miscommunication leads to a 2-0 Johnson Wales lead.
Mays, first action. Dug out, though. Caniglio, she's going to find some wood for the point and kill. What have we got? Double-digit kills yet for Caniglio?
We got stats up here on the sideline.
Believe that's going to be 8. No, excuse me, 17.
So she's really bumping up her average here.
Yes, most definitely.
Having a phenomenal game.
Yes, Doria being the leading killer for the Mariners. But yeah, 17 doubles. The 8 for Doria by Caniglio. She's really having her way here in the first round.
And a huge block and stare down by Johnson and Wales.
Yes, that is Hannah Dolan with the help of Caniglio as well. I don't think she needed it. She was up and ready early. Frank still serving from the beginning of this set. Adams to Mays. Mays' hit goes long.
Just
6 in a row. Game is slowly slipping through the fingertips of the Mariners. See if they can get something going. Adams and Malampy conversing here on the near side.
Overserved, though.
But Perez able to keep it alive. And Doria able to get one over. But here comes Caniglio. She's going to get the net.
Oh, no, we have someone.
O'Neal and Caniglio seem to collide legs underneath the net. She seems a little bit slow to get up, but
testing
she's
that
fine.
right ankle
She
and
gets
walking
up.
it off.
Yeah. Takes her place in the back court.
Always a scary collision when something happens under the net, especially with those feet. You don't want any rolled or broken ankles there.
Yeah, the 6-inch height difference between Caniglio and O'Neal. As you can tell, probably a decent weight difference there too. So O'Neal taking the brunt of that one. Caniglio not really showing any signs of that collision having any effect on her, but you never know. We shall see. Caniglio again. But Perez able to dig that one out. Doria. Nicholas finds it though.
Right
Kelly Delaney off the block.
Right off the hands of Doria. Smart tool there. Get Casey back to serve.
Caniglio again. O'Neal. She's going to get a point through that block. Never going to really be able to hit over the block. Undersized 5'9", but she finds a way to get a point for the Mariners. Get them on the board at 7-2. Perez's serve to Oldham. Back set. Dealt well with by Perez. She's in the right position. O'Neal just gets that one over. Nicholas. Well done. Oh, she needs to get that one up. Doria, she tried her best, just couldn't make it happen. And that's going to be a point for Johnson Wales, 8-2.
Getting anything off the net's a tough thing to dig, especially with that much spin sliding off of it. Great up, but a difficult save for Doria.
And digging and getting real low. Doria's, not really Doria's specialty, but she gave it a valiant effort. That one seems to just sit on the net and then fell over to the Maritime side, giving a point to Johnson and Wales, 9-2. Corbett serve. They run it to Doria. Malampy, good roll shot. But Frank able to set. Oh, and that's going to go in. The little karate chop. But it works.
Any points will do here.
Yes, Maine Maritime backed up against the wall. They'll claw, they'll chop, they'll do whatever they can to get this to the 5th set. And O'Neal's going right into the net. She had the hot hand, this hot service hand for the Mariners, but not here. Now facing a big deficit, 10-3.
Well, we got a second. I know Caniglio's been the big name here, but I do not want to talk about the efforts of Kate Walker in the middle block. She has turned around this Johnson Wales blocking unit. Ooh, but right over Walker for the kill is Doria. Oh, Casey.
Yeah, interesting toss there. I think the toss kind of got her. She had to hang in the air to find that one. Serve goes long. Bella Oldham to serve. Malampy gonna be able to get that one in. Casey served to Caniglio. Frank dug out by O'Neal. Doria. Ari Murrah doesn't handle it well. Nicholas just has to hit a free ball over. O'Neal overpass on the free ball. Can't have that. Doria gonna get a good shot off though. But Walker blocked over. Malampy able to deal with it. Well done by the setter Adams, but big dig by Oldham. Doria. Adams aiming and firing, but Johnson Wales able to get it up. Malampy, she's stuffed. Mays with the tip, doesn't happen. Picked up, Nicholas sets all the way back to Oldham, roll shot up. Can't get the pancake on it, and that's a big point.
Huge rally, great back and forth there for Johnson Wales to pull out from, but they're getting the points there. Huge point, but lots of momentum building on both sides.
But yeah, you can see, even though this game is getting a little bit out of hand, Maine Maritime not able to keep pace with Johnson and Wales. These teams are a lot more closely matched than you think, as seen in that rally. A great rally there. Both teams running what they want, forcing each other's hands, and just fighting and clawing and seeing whoever can come out on top. And as Johnson and Wales came up on top on that one, so too does it look like they're going to come out on top on this one. But it's not over. And Mays sends that one back down.
Big shot by Mays right there. And getting some points in her debut here in the 4th set.
Yeah, Mays the sophomore. This might be her her first action ever in the NCAAs. Actually, no, they made it to the first round last year, so likely played last year a little bit. Mays again, and she's gonna get another point.
Already making a difference here and chopping away at this Wildcat lead.
Only down 6 now. See if they can keep this going. You saw Adams, the setter here, now back serving. She started taking shots during that long rally. See if she can really catalyze this team. And that's going to be a violation. Going to be a point for the Wildcats. Briley Frank to serve.
Oh, a great up there.
Mays just has to get it over. She does. Frank could have gone long, possibly. Doria decided to hit it. Didn't get a solid contact on it, not really sent to anybody. That one falls on their own side and necessitated timeout for the Mariners.
That wasn't really the free ball play Johnson Wales wanted, but it's the one they got, and it worked for them getting the point and extending this to an 8-point lead here. Much closer than the score says, though.
Definitely, much closer. I do agree.
You know, there's no point in it, but the Maine Mariners probably kicked themselves over those original 6-point run they gave up in the beginning, because you flip or split those 6 points and you got a much closer game here.
Definitely, you're quite right. You're quite right. As we saw, they kind of bounced back for a little bit, but then the real tight matchup here makes it hard to string together any real long runs. So giving that early 6-0 deficit to put themselves in this fourth set is going to make it a real uphill climb if they already weren't facing an uphill climb.
And Maine Maritime with Brianna Mays adding a bit needed energy to their attack. She had some big points there with taking the overpass down and putting it right back into Johnson & Wales hardwood, and finding the line there on another great shot. Maybe some magic there by Mays.
Yeah, go for some Mays magic, because down 8 and down a set, it's almost crunch time if it's not already crunch time. Frank has been having the hot hand from the serve. She's back again with the left hand. She gets one over to Doria. Back to Mays, but Frank able to pick that one out. Free ball comes over. Adams to Malampy, but she gets called again for stepping over the line this time.
Ooh. Interesting call there. A little bit angered reaction from the Maritime bench, but the game keeps moving. Let's see how they bounce back.
Just maybe like by a toe on that one. It looked pretty close. Malampy gets one over. Dealt easily with Oldham. Malampy keen to it though. Now she gets a hit.
Oh, no touch there. They're going to get called for 4. Set over the net, taken by surprise there.
Mays tries to just react fast. Can't. And that's going to be another point now, up 11. Johnson & Wales with Frank still serving. Ooh, that was a great serve.
Oh, close to getting that third ball over, but a shank into the net by Mays really set him back there.
Yes. And looks as if Elizabeth Elbrecht is going to get her first action, taking out number 8, Kelly Delaney, who had a great game, as you said, Rob. And Caniglio.
Return to sender. Huge capitalization on that overpass by Caniglio. You can see Johnson Wales are really feeling the energy now.
1 kill away for Caniglio to get to 20 here.
Can she get the 20 piece?
O'Neal. Touch on that one, yes.
Serving for the Mariners, number 9, Rachel Malampy.
Malampy's serve goes right into the net.
Point Wildcats. Now serving for the Wildcats, number 13, Maria Caniglio.
Captain talking for a redo as there was a ball on the court that last play, as the fans are letting them know. Trying to redo that serve into the net. We'll see what happens here. And no redo for the serve into the net. The Maine Maritime fans, as well as their bench, are probably pretty mad about that one.
Out to Daria. She's going to get it through the block.
Oh, but
He said it's going to hit antenna.
line ref saying there's an antenna penalty on that one, as Johnson Wales inches closer to taking this one.
I don't know about that one. That one looked tough too. 2 tough calls in a row. But he has the good vantage point, so you got to go with the line ref. And now 2 points away from closing this one out. Caniglio, who else back to serve? Adams going to set Doria. And another
Double
Violation.
there.
This time on. Johnson and Wales going to give the point.
Fans getting rowdy out here from Maine Maritime.
She gets her serve over this time. Frank sets.
Almost over. Huge dig by Perez, but I don't think anyone else thought that she was going to get that one up.
If she gets that one up, I think might still be a lift there with that one-handed little.
Yeah, no one likes to call a lift on the pineapple there.
Oof, good hit there by Kakesi, but Johnson and Wales able to deal with it. Malampy. Delaney. Walker. And that one's out. It's going to be it for this game, folks. Johnson and Wales Wildcats defeating the Maine Maritime Mariners 3-1. Thank you for joining us here. Please stay tuned for more action. We have a game coming up at 3. And it was such a pleasure being here with you folks. For Robert Hoover and everybody else in the JumboCast class, I'm Jarrett Davis. Thank you for joining us. See you next time, folks. Goodbye.